Hey, this is Danny from Weird and Wired, and this right here is a Kansas Parlor guitar. These were made in Romania in the 1950s. Definitely player grade vintage. I've read a little bit about these online. A lot of comments saying that they're pretty unplayable, and this one has only got 2 strings at present, and you can do a bit with 2 strings. But 6 strings is definitely a bit better than 2, and this is also strung with nylon guitar strings, which I'm not entirely sure why. It should really have steel strings on it, so I'm gonna get these strings off. I'm gonna clean it up, set it up, and we'll see how it plays and how it sounds. So I've given this a little play already with only 2 strings on it, and I gotta say I am impressed with the frets on this. Now they're not spectacular at all, nothing like that. The main thing is that they're not absolutely horrible and diabolical. I often find with these low budget guitars from the 50s, 60s, 70s, heck even you get guitars now and the frets, you run your hand or your fingers up the side of the neck and they just chew into you, and it's no surprise that a lot of people can be turned off from continuing their interest in wanting to learn or play guitar because the instrument they've got is just not being built, not being put together or given the attention that it really needs, with kind of the frets being crowned. So it doesn't look like someone's purposefully done that. I think maybe I've just struck lucky, because what I had read online about these guitars is that they are fairly shoddy, and I guess would generally fall into that category. So like I say, maybe I've got lucky. I'm gonna string this up now with some steel guitar strings. I've got these Martin strings, and let's get them on, let's set it up, see how it plays and see how it sounds. Yeah, it makes noise. That's what you want. Yeah, it's pretty player friendly. In terms of the nut, nice and low. The main culprit is this saddle of the bridge. The string height it gets pretty wacky from about the 3rd fret. Luckily, it's a real easy fix with this. I can just loosen the strings, make them slack, so I can get this bridge out. It's not fixed in place, as you can see. It's free moving, so I can work out how much I really want to sand off of that to give it a better string height. And I can mark where the best position for it is to have the correct intonation, and just fix it in place a bit more permanently using some double-sided tape, and we should be all happy. So let's get to it. So it's relatively easy to remove this part of the bridge. However, it was not so easy taking the excess off. I started off using a bit of sandpaper, but it was such slow progress. I just used a hacksaw after measuring how much to take off for better action on the guitar. Next up was setting the intonation, easily done by hitting the 12th fret harmonic and then fretting it down, making sure both notes are coming through the same on a tuner. With this, I can only do it on the low and the high E strings, as there's not individual saddles for every string. Now I'm just using a bit of masking tape to mark out where it is on the body for the best placement of the bridge, so I can take it back off, use a bit of double-sided tape and keep it firmly in place. This is not a necessity, it's just a preference of mine for this, as the bridge piece was moving with too much ease for my liking, and I want to make this guitar as playable as possible. So with the intonation set and the bridge firmly in place, let's put this through its paces and see how it sounds. So there we go, that is this Parlor guitar made by Kansas in Romania in the 1950s. What do you guys think? Do you dig the sound? Personally, for me, it is exactly what I would want from a guitar like this. Have you owned one or played one yourself? What was it like? Did you have to go through the same kind of things that I had to do to get it up and running to its full potential? I mean, it's a pretty cracking guitar for a little bit of work that needs to be done. This saddle was the main culprit. I had to take a lot off of that, but I mean, by doing that, this has come on leaps and bounds, and the aesthetic of it is great. When I first saw this, I thought it was a modern guitar, really nailing that 1950s look. Then I saw the logo in the sound hole and realised it is such a caricature of itself. It is perfect, and I really dig it. You can get these for not a great deal of money for a player grade vintage guitar. Providing it's in good enough condition to start with, you can do the same sort of things and make it really playable. The neck does not have a truss rod in it, so that might be the only trouble you come into. This neck is dead straight. It's unbelievable, really. And overall, this one in particular doesn't seem to... I'm surprised it didn't come with the original box. It's in that good condition. There's a slight crack there on the body, which I'm not even sure if it is actually the wood or just the lacquer. But overall, yeah, I'm impressed after reading so many poor reviews of this guitar online and hearing nightmare stories about them. Maybe I had such a low bar that it surpassed it, but I mean, overall, it's a quality little guitar now. So you let me know what you think of it, if you played one, and until the next time, keep it weird, keep it wired.
Weird and wired.